Let me show you how I solved this holding problem with this extremely simple and easy to build design to result in something like this. Okay, so once again, the design of this thing is very simple. This is extremely easy to make. Just about anybody can do it with very minimal amount of tools. And I'm going to show you the basis of this thing now. Now, first of all, you've got a normal piece of wood here. This is basically a piece of shutter plywood. So this is not the top quality, but you can use any type of wood that you prefer, and the looks that you prefer as well. Now, the size of this piece of wood is obviously based on solely, or not solely, but partially upon the size of the average pairs of sunglasses that I've got. Now, the average pairs of sunglasses that I've got, the two arms of the sunglasses are all about 14 centimeters apart. In inches, that would be about 5.5 inches apart. So obviously, the holes that I drilled into this wood for these arms would obviously be the center of the holes would be 14 centimeters or 5.5 inches apart. And then the width of this board is 20 centimeters or about 7.75 inches. And the height of the board depends on how many pairs of sunglasses you want to put on here. Now, obviously, the distance between the sunglasses obviously also depends on the sort of sunglasses that you have. But if you put them underneath each other like so, you'll be able to find a rough distance or a rough estimate of the distance between the arms top to bottom. In my case, that would be 6 centimeters or about 2.5 inches roughly. So now that we've got those rough measurements in place, we can basically cut the piece of wood. So obviously this is depending on height. The holes are 6 centimeters apart from each other, 14 centimeters in width. And then at the bottom, I've just left enough space so that the first pair of sunglasses that I put in there would not be able to touch the ground. And I've left a bit of extra space there as well, because obviously it can be a bigger pair of sunglasses, so it might require more space. Just to keep that in mind as well. So, in order for this thing to stand up like this, at a certain angle, like so. Now, the angle was fairly easily determined, and that's basically all just done by looks. Now, what I've done is I've taken a little degree angle like this. I've put it next to the stand, and I've basically, from the center point in the bottom there, put it at the foot piece of the stand and tilted it up until it looked about a comfortable or a angle that I like, and I just read the angle on the side here. In my case, this is a 15-degree angle that I've chosen and which I'm comfortable with. So what I've done then is I've taken another piece of wood like this, and I've made, this is obviously the bottom part, and the one angle here would be at 15 degrees away from 90 degrees. So this would be 75 degrees upwards from the bottom. The height, depending on how you want to do it, obviously you've got the whole height of your board to choose from, and then just the side. So this will then simply go at the back. If you can do it like so, it will be attached in the center like so to basically keep the board standing upright. So obviously this still needs to be worked off or worked about and rounded off. So what I'm going to still do is I'm going to trim the corners of this with a round over bit in my table router. The same with the back piece. I'm only going to router the part that's not going to be against the table or the upright. So it's only going to be this one side that's going to be rounded over. And then I've decided to give it a little bit of a rustic burn effect with a bow torch, basically a little bow torch like this. So it goes onto a butane canister like such. And I'm going to decorate this whole thing with this effect, a little bit of a burn effect, and then put some oil over it just to protect the wood a bit. So that's basically it. And before I do all that, I might just cover some of the holes that's in this piece of wood from previous uses. This is all recycled wood. Might cover it with some wood filler just to make it look a bit nicer. And obviously at the back or the front, whichever part you want to use, I'm actually going to stain it a bit as well with the burner. Draw some holes in the front here so I can attach this with some screws and some some screws and wood glue on the back of this board so it stands up straight. And thereafter comes the oiling, and after the oiling it should be ready for use. So this is a very simple project. Just about anybody can make it. So you can make this to sell, you can make it as a gift, whichever you prefer. But the main point to remember is this is extremely easy to make and just about everybody can do it. Well, after all that, you'll see this is basically the finished result. I left the rustic look, so some of the holes and so on that it had in it, the screw holes and so on, I did leave them there, and I did the burning with the blowtorch like you saw, and I then put a oil over it to stain it and also protect the wood. Same on the back side, you'll see here's a little foot piece, it's keeping it upright. Same effect, same on the back, nice burnt effect or a bit of a rustic look. And that is basically what it looks like. Very simple. Now, obviously, you can paint this any color. You can put a design on here if you want to, put some of your initials or anything of the sort on there if you wish. So, how simple is this to use actually? Well, let's have a look. Here's a bunch of sunglasses. Let's all put them in place or put them all in place. You'll see it goes in there quite easily. They might be a bit dirty, but that's okay. Let's put the different style ones here. You see some might stick out more than the others, which is fine. Let's put some more in there, put another one of these. And no matter the style, they all still do fit perfectly, which is quite nice. Let's put another one in there. You'll see. Obviously, you can organize them any way you wish, whatever makes your aesthetics look better. But there we go. 5 pairs of sunglasses, nicely stacked into the stand, and it looks very nice. You can clearly see what you've got, what's dirty, what needs to be clean, and all those type of things. And it works well. You can see what you've got. They can't be scratched and so on. They're nicely put together. In the back, you'll see they all stick out with the arms like that, so they're not being put strain on. They're quite loose in the holes. You'll see that. Nothing is being bent or being stressed. They're just hanging on the stand there on their own arms, which is what they normally do. So, if you do like this project and you want to see another one, be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so yet. Also, if you wish to support my channel, please have a look at the super thanks icon down below. So until next time, thank you very much, guys.